With the final environmental impact statement due this summer for Sound Transit's West Seattle Light Rail extension, the group Rethink the Link held their second route walkthrough on Sunday, June 9th, not to protest the project, but as they said, so the public could be better informed of the scale, scope, and impacts of the plans thus far. A group of about 35 people joined the organizers on a looping walk from the West Seattle Health Club, whose pool under the current plan is set to be eliminated, up through North Delridge, where a series of businesses will be removed, out to mid-span on the lower Spokane Street Bridge and back.
We're here with Rethink the Link. The website is rethinkthelink.org. If you want more information, you can go ahead to the website. A number of links will be added to the site about the spots that we are going to be visiting today. We're also part of a broader coalition called Smarter Transit. If you're interested in broader transit information, that's a good resource as well. I wanted to point out Martin Poggle, who is here. Martin writes for the Seattle Transit blog and recently wrote a post about increasing transit service in West Seattle. So Martin is a good resource.
Also Mike Orr.
Yeah. And Mike is also with the Seattle Transit blog. So thanks to both of the transit experts for coming out today. Also wanted to introduce Alan McMurray, who will be leading a lot of the walk today. Alan walks to work from West Seattle to Soto, so we'll basically be walking to work with him today, and he'll be able to show us a lot of the things he's seeing as he walks to work. So with that, Alan, I will give it to you.
We're going to walk along some trails, some bike trails, and over the low bridge halfway. There's a lot of traffic. There's traffic over underneath the bridge. We need to kind of pay attention to the crosswalks and follow no jaywalking. It's not the most direct route, but we'll go that way. We're going to start off over here, going off across the Longfellow Creek. As Conrad said, this is my commute. I live up across Avalon Way on 32nd. Sound Transit's going through our neighborhood. They're going through my commute, and they're going through my work. I work at Spokane Street and 4th at a local cabinet shop. So pretty much for the last, 4 years, every time I walk, I wonder sort of how they're going to do all this. We know they're coming over. We know they're coming through here. We know now that they're coming through your pool, if you were a member of the health club.
What? I thought they changed that.
Not yet.
Despite the efforts of Sound Transit's outreach to the public to inform them about what they're planning, it's inevitable that some will be surprised at the changes set to take place. The organizers of the walk maintain that more than 1,400 homes and businesses will be displaced, and that construction will cost more than $4 billion for 4.7 miles of track, making it the second most expensive transit project in the nation. The original plan, passed in 2016, was for a $1.6 billion expenditure. The trains, once running, will, by Sound Transit's own estimates, carry 27,000 passengers daily, the same number of buses carried today. The project is projected to take 6 to 8 years to complete.
So we're at the entrance to Newcore, and this is off to the right, the industrial park that's the location of the new station. According to their plans, this entire block essentially gets revamped, and where we're going to cut through is sort of the line of the rail. And from what my understanding on the map, it will be elevated here and will cut across sort of this entrance to Newcore, and probably a straighter line than we took, head that way to the crossing at the creek. It'll be elevated here at a height probably of, 75 feet or so, higher than the building.
It's coming down a little bit, but it's about the same height.
Right.
And it's so buses will come on the bottom, and then walkways from Delridge Way to the middle level, and then going up another escalator. So yeah, if you arrive, it takes a few escalators to get up to the station.
Right, so it'll be an elevated station with a couple of different escalators to get up to the height with the train or the buses, and I don't know if there'll be parking or not. Service below here, so just
No parking. No parking.
and no parking. And then this is ounces, just to give you sort of a reference as to when we come back. This is the station's down and off the back of it.
So
FYI.
the station's like here, yeah?
The station is, in through here.
So it goes over these businesses?
These businesses are going to go away.
Every business here is gone.
It's the largest daycare in West Seattle, on track, I think. You can see the on-ramp here from Delridge up to the High Bridge, and the High Bridge is happening. You've got houses, and you've got Pigeon Point just right there. As the train would have to come over here, thank you. As the train would come over here, it would cross at some point. It'd have to be higher than this on-ramp and shoot this way, and this is the start of it, of the station and the upgraded block. Business underneath here, there's a lot of traffic, a lot of stuff going on. It's even on a Sunday. Just got to be mindful of these crosswalks. Not too many of us will agree to that.
Alan, what about the new Newport Road?
The plans I saw that there'll be like a stoplight over here. I don't think this is exactly going to be the access for the Newport Road. I think it'll be farther down, and then there'll be an intersection there. As we're coming back, you'll get a sense of how much land will be above it. You can see the block that has to come out from their plan.
Tour participants walked under the upper level bridge, then up and on to the lower Spokane Street Bridge for a better look. The new bridge over the Duwamish River will be 160 feet high, as per U.S. Coast Guard regulations, and will stay at that level heading into West Seattle.
The other side of that, you see the railroad bridge. Still active, still working. Actually works surprisingly well when you see that thing go up and down. It's still pretty good. So the other issues there are that beyond the tall bridge, you've got these businesses, arena over here, and then you've got sort of an industrial park that I think is owned by the port, but I'm not positive about that. That to me is where they would have to run the line. It just makes the most sense. The line's going to be as tall as this bridge. That's Coast Guard regulations. It's going to be tall enough to clear 99.
Yeah, it continues at that. I mean, West Seattle Bridge kind of goes low and then high up over, whereas light rail is going to stay almost at the same level as the bridge and then continue parallel to the Spokane Street Viaduct over Highway 99 and then a big curve dropping into Fifth Avenue. 4th Avenue, yeah. And but all pretty high so that it can come over the Spokane Street Viaduct.
It needs to come from 4th Avenue up and over the bridge at that point, sort of get higher than 99 and maintain that height, which will be roughly the height of this bridge. They're then going to have to swing out or not, but maintain that height to clear the ramps. As the West Seattle Bridge lowers, they have to kind of come around and drop down into Delridge in that station that they have planned. Sorry, yeah. I always like to say they're not building a roller coaster. I think once they have that height, they want to maintain that height. So this gives you a sense of how high that is. If you look over the edge of this bridge, you're already up pretty high. This is another couple hundred feet. This way you see Pigeon Point, the back side of Pigeon Point. We're looking at the other side there at the tavern. that's going away. Certainly back, I don't know, from here it's hard to tell, 100 feet?
The whole first line of houses are marked for eminent domain.
Do we have a count on those?
They're on the maps, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see that as we're going, as we're walking back. We're going to take the upper road. We'll see the trees where the heron's nest. Somebody mentioned that you could see the peregrine underneath the bridge there. The Starbucks headquarters is on Lander Street. Lander Street, if you head basically due east over to 4th Avenue, over that new section that they built, the new station's going there, where the Esquint exists now. That area is getting sort of wiped out. So if you wanted to take the light rail to get some wine, I don't think that's going to fly. That's sort of, they're going to have to come from there along 4th Avenue and swing up there.
Then it was back down for a look at the area the track will cross the Pigeon Point neighborhood.
Yeah, the trees that are here are going to go. The hillside is going to go away. There's going to be some sort of pretty major cut. It doesn't matter if they're above. They've got to get their piers and their footings down below. They've got to get them in pretty deep. You can see, and I can't remember the term, but the wall that sort of retains around the post down here.
It's going to go essentially pretty much along the top of the Pigeon Point.
You don't think they're going to cut in?
Along the top of Pigeon Point?
They have to cut in for the piers.
It almost goes to ground level at that point.
That's what I was.
And then just posts underneath, of course.
Okay.
I don't think they are cutting into the hill, but they are going to take out, all the trees, of course.
You have to cut into the hill a little bit at least.
A little bit, but yeah, it's essentially, it comes at the same height, and therefore it's gonna be high enough to be on the same level as the top of Pigeon Point.
It's going to be pretty close to what is ground level there. So there will be some cutting away. The trees are going to go away. The habitat will be cut back. And the deck itself will be close to ground level up there. At some point in through here, the track would be coming out and would be pointing. We're going to come around the corner and we get a nice overview of the proposed station site, the Skylark, that whole area, and the Fry, the Parkway Walk. Not positive, but yeah, this whole area gets redeveloped. Oddly enough, I think the majority of these these businesses are owned by women. I think I heard. But this is the end of the redevelopment block. This is the corner here. We're going to go across and just kind of walk back up to the end to the athletic club. That's the tour. I hope it sort of gave you a sense of what it's going to take. The word is that when they release their final EIS, there's a 30-day window. What you can do when that happens is be heard. They are by law required to register all that stuff. Now what they will do is sort of lump things together based on past experience. So these need to be diverse enough. You can't really just copy each other. We've done that kind of before too, where there's a form letter. But just be heard, just make yourself aware of what the timeline is and make them aware of you. It needs to be thought out a little bit more. That's our thing. So thanks everybody.